For many years, Devon Larratt had faced criticism for not competing against the European elite, ducking them, being scared of them. Devon was not happy about that, and he was ready to silence any doubts. His first major European test came against Evgeny Prudnik, a powerhouse who had crushed Morozov, Tobias Sprong, Matt Mask, and Todd Hutchings, holding the heavyweight world title. November 19, 2022, East vs West 5. Here we go. First round out of straps, Evgeny explodes to the side, and Devon barely manages to escape, and they go to the straps. In straps, Evgeny fiercely drives. He gets very close to the pin pad, and Devon's bicep angle opens significantly. But the pronator stays locked, and with that, Devon cracks Evgeny's wrist. Evgeny is forced back to go to the center, and he tries hitting again, but with every drive, the wrist gets more and more compromised. Evgeny attempts to press, and Devon is forced to go full-blown King's move, maximizing the strength of his pronator while also utilizing his bone lock. Seconds go by until Devon gets called for a shoulder under the table. On the restart, Evgeny tries hitting again, but his wrist literally bounces off Devon's pronator. Devon secures the center and forces the match into a hook. He gets onto the A side, puts his shoulder behind, puts Prudnik on his bicep, and Evgeny has no way out. 1-0 for Devon Larratt. Second round, Prudnik drives more ferociously. However, Devon's open arm top roll manages to perfectly defend. Devon moves forward to engage more side pressure, he defends Evgeny's drives, gets it into a hook again, and Evgeny fouls. Restart, Devon gets it inside, and Evgeny tries top rolling Devon from there. But the containment from Devon Larratt is enough to stop Evgeny. The hook is secured, Devon puts the shoulder behind and gets the second pin. Third round, Devon keeps the pronator, keeps the shoulder close to maximize his side pressure. He then transitions outside, pronating out, and Evgeny barely holds. Devon then puts the shoulder behind, then Evgeny actually King's moves and fouls. So they restart, and it's the same position. Prudnik tries King's moving again, trying to gain the height, and Devon baits. Evgeny's wrist gets completely cracked back, and Devon finally gets the pin and wins the match, obtaining the heavyweight title. Devon would continue with his demolition, moving back to his old battleground, Arm Wars, where he would face Sandris Panzer Cheris, the reigning WAF heavyweight champion and Arm Wars world champion. Sandris had recently dominated Matt Mask, a good friend of Devon and also a long-time rival who had very close battles with him. Sandris was entering in peak form, but Devon displayed that there are levels to this sport. Off the go, Devon maximizes his back pressure, pronation, and slowly Sandris' fundamentals collapse. Devon easily holds in the center. The riser, pronator, and the wrist of Sandris all start to slowly but surely fail. The Panzer then attempts to hook, but his effort gets completely blocked. Devon bleeds Sandris out and gets the pin.
You said you wouldn't quit, Sanders. I thought you said
Second round out of straps, Sandris tries hooking, and Devon goes outside, almost top rolling Sandris outside of the straps. But they eventually slip and go to straps. Sandris tries hooking again. Devon completely blocks the attack. He then hits and wins. 2-0 Devon. Third round, Devon stops it, and Sandris again tries everything to set the hook, and Devon eventually lets Sandris. He allows Sandris to go there, but even in the hook, he is unable to do anything. Devon completely dominates and gets another round, 3-0. Fourth round, flash pin from Devon. After 4 rounds, the win is already secured. However, they still continue pulling. Devon wins in the 5th round, absolutely easily, and in the 6th round, out of straps, Devon completely controls everything Sandris tries. He bleeds him out, gets the win. Dominant sweep 6-0. Now these two athletes would also go on to face on the left. And there, it was a lot more intense. Now this is the point where I believe I should start talking about pumpkin arm. The Way of the Giant Pumpkin is a training method created by Devon Larratt, where he started observing pumpkins, and the pumpkin that would grow the largest would take away nutrients from the other pumpkins. So Devon observed this phenomena and decided to try that with his forearms. So basically he started training on his right arm, completely not caring about the left, only doing table time there. So his left was much weaker than the right. With that, let's see how the match went. First round, Sandris hits, and Devon's pronator stops the drive. It cracks the wrist of Sandris, but the bicep of Devon starts opening. Devon is forced to King's move, his bicep getting more and more stretched open. Sandris switches to the press and eventually gets the pin on Devon, 1-0 for Sandris. Second round, Devon hits top roll. He secures the wrist again. He tries to get the shoulder behind. He doesn't manage to, so he keeps attacking with the top roll. With every drive, Devon attacks with the pronator, while also keeping in mind his arm angle staying closed enough. And eventually, he evens out the score, 1-1. Round 3, Sandris drives. Devon's fingers contain. He holds onto the fingers of Sandris. Sandris slips, and the straps are set. In straps, Devon secures the pronator again. Sandris' wrist completely gone. Devon tries to close the arm angle, tries to get the shoulder behind, eventually gets it and pins. However, since he was on a running foul, they are forced to restart. On the restart of the go, the same start again. Devon gets the wrist of Sandris, he tries to drive down, eventually gets the shoulder and gets another win. 2-1 for Devon. Round 4, right out of straps, Devon tries top rolling, and Sandris bails out. In the straps, Devon holds, but this time his arm opens up way more. Sandris managed to keep the pronator against Devon, and eventually gets to move to a press. Devon goes down with the shoulder into a full-blown King's move, and holds on to dear life. Sandris completely commits to the press, and Devon fouls. Another restart. Right off the go, Devon hits quickly with a press, confidently screaming, being sure that he has got the win. But Sandris stops it millimeters above the pin pad. He drags it out from the dead and quickly gets on the offensive. Devon's arm is now again absolutely completely opened up. He is in a King's move. He tries to get the shoulder behind again, while Sandris repeatedly hits, doing everything in his power to get the pin on him, while Devon's bone lock is probably screaming. Eventually Devon Larratt manages to get the shoulder behind, and it's another pin for him, 3-1 Devon. Round 5, Devon hits out of the straps, quickly presses down, 4-1 Devon. Sixth round, with even secured, Devon eases up a bit, and off the go, his back pressure gets completely opened up, and it's 4-2 Devon in the end. Having conquered the heavyweight division, Devon would move up back to the super heavyweights.